Hello, guys. October 7th, 2024, we have lost Titan Ratanji Tata, the chairman emeritus of Tata Group. And this unfortunate event has basically created a sense of grief across India as well as globe, wherein people who were not touched by Tata Group in any way are also feeling the same kind of grief or loss, or they are missing one title, so to say. An adorable old uncle. What the Economic Times says, we have lost an adorable old uncle. Now, mentioning an businessman in these terms, an adorable old uncle is very strange, but very nice because Ratanji Tata has earned it. So the image that we have in mind when we say Ratan Tata, the image that comes to our mind is always about uh, a gentleman, a person who is very sensitive towards social work, a person who is running his organization as per the ethics and morality and integrity of the Tata Group. So this sound, the adorable old uncle is a very apt way of putting what Ratan Tata is. The other example is Economist, the world-renowned magazine Economist says it did not. It says about Tata Group, it did not swindle. It paid its debts. It stood behind its products, largely free from scandals, and was very active in philanthropic activities. So this is what Economist is saying about Tata Group while commenting on the demise of Ratanji Tata. So this is very important to understand that an industrialist, when he dies, the typical comments or typical remarks that come from the media or the people are very different. He was very helpful. He was very courageous. He was a leader, etc., etc. But these aspects are very different. An adorable old uncle is a very different and very interesting way of putting Ratanji Tata's personality in a context. Well, now, why this specific video is to understand basically the context, why Ratanji Tata, who Ratanji Tata is, from where he came and from where he was going, and what made him the way he was. To start with, we need to understand the background, the context in which we are discussing all these aspects. Just to give you context, Ratanji Tata, after taking over as a chairman of Tata Group in 1991 till October 7th of 2024, in 32 years, 33 years, he has moved. He has developed a Tata Group from $4 billion to $400 billion, which is 34 lakh crore. Moving an organization, moving a group, 34 lakh crores is what Ratanji Tata's achievement is. And we need to understand this in a context, against what background, against what industrial situation, against what opportunities, against what competition, against what threats he has worked on all these aspects, not only professional but personal and social and political also. So we need to understand what this context is. When I say 34 lakh crore, just to put this value in context, Indian government's organizations that are having market capitalization is 71 lakh crore. The organizations which are Indian government's entities but have a market capitalization, the total is 71 lakh crores, whereas Tata Group is 34 lakh crores, which is approximately 45 to 47% of Indian government. This is huge, mammoth market capitalization from any group, from any perspective. So this is what the context is. Just to give some bit more idea. Indian government market, the organizations that are owned by Indian government, the market capitalization, Navaratnas that we call, and some other entities, the market capitalization is 71 lakh crore. The second is Tata Group, which is 34 lakh crore. The third is Reliance, 22.8 lakh crores. HDFC is 18.7 lakh crores. Adani Group is 17.1 lakh crore. Bajaj is 14.1 lakh crore. ICICI is 13.7 lakh crores. Then Bharti is 11.6 lakh crores. Then Aditya Birla Group is 8.7 lakh crores. L&T is again 8.1 lakh crores. So we are looking at a mammoth market capitalization of Tata Group, which stands at 34 lakh crores. That is amazing task. That is amazing achievement made by an individual. That is Ratan Tata from 1991 when he became chairman emeritus, when he became chairman for the first time, until October 7, 2024. Till October 12, 2012, he was actual active chairman, and from 2012 he handed over it to Sahil Haris Mistry, and then again he took it over for 6 months, and then obviously the next chairman is looking after it. But The mentorship is always there. The guidance is always there. Just to give you additional information, when I say Tata Group is 34 lakh crores, just let me give you a breakup of what are the major contributors are. The TCS, Tata Consultancy Group, is 14.9 lakh crores. Tata Steel is 1.93 lakh crores. Tata Motors is 3.34 lakh crores. Titan is 3 lakh crores. Tata Power is 1.44 lakh crores. Tata Consumer Products is 1.08 crores. Then Tata Trent is 2.76 lakh crores. Then Tata Chemicals is 27,000 crores. Then Indian Hotels is 97,000 crores. Tata Communications Limited is 53,000 crores. Voltas is 61,000 crores. Then Tata Investment Corporation is 34,000 crores. Tata Technologies is 43,000 crores. Tata Metallics is 3,500 crores. Tata Elixir is 45,000 crores, and Nelco is 2,000 crores. So these are some of the contributors to Tata's market capitalization. So these are the prime contributors. But whereas if you look at SPRAY now, why I'm trying to give you the current situation is then we'll get into from where Ratan Tata came and to reach where we are discussing what we are discussing now. So at present, as we speak, Tata Group is working in technology sector, steel, auto, consumer retail, infra, financial services, aerospace and defense, tourism, and travel, telecom and media, and trading and investment. Some additional information: technology, for example, TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Digital, Tata Elixir, Tata Electronics, and Tata Technologies. Steel is Tata Steel. Auto, Tata Motors, JLR, Tata Autocom Systems. Consumer retail, Tata Chemicals, Titan, Voltas. Tata Consumer Products, Infinity Retail, that is Croma and Trent. In the infrastructure division, Tata Power, Tata Projects, Tata Consulting Engineers, Tata Realty and Infrastructure, Tata Housing. In financial services, Tata Capital, Tata AI, Tata AIG, Tata Asset Management. In aerospace and defense, Tata Advanced Systems. In travel and tourism, Indian Hotels, CI Airlines, Air India. In telecom and media, Tata Communications, Tata Play, Tata Teleservices. Trading and investment, Tata International, Tata Industries, and Tata Investment Corporation. And these are some of the companies that are active at present, that are the biggest contributors to what the Tata's market capitalization as of now is. Now, after that, let me give you some. This is the context against which we are trying to understand what made Ratan Tata. To start with, when his birth year is 1937, and he started his schooling from Campion School, Mumbai. Then obviously towards 1959 towards 1962, he was in Cornell University, America, USA, doing his Bachelor of Architecture from College of Architecture, Cornell University. He passed out in 1962, and at the same time he got a pilot's license also, I believe. And it was an interesting anecdote that I will share later. Then he did in 1975 he did advanced management program from Harvard Business School. So this was the educational background. Then after passing his Bachelor of Architecture from LA, Cornell University, he was working as an architect in LA, Los Angeles, for some time. Unfortunately, his grandmother was not feeling well, and he had to come to India back. And he came to India and was taking care of his grandmother. And while taking care of his grandmother, J.R.D. Tata told him not to spend time only in this, but also to do something else. This is what Ratan Tata has told. So J.R.D. Tata actually asked him to do something in Tata Group. So he joined the Tata Telco, that is Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company, which is Tata Motors now. When he was working with Telco, that is the Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company, for 6 months, and he believes that those 6 months have helped him a lot in understanding working with people on the shop floor, and how we can contribute to the organization irrespective of what the designation is, where we are working, what our role is, etc., etc. So these 6 months were very formative from his perspective. And then as he kept on working in Tata Group, he has also worked with Tata Steel Jamshedpur for some time. Then he was given responsibility of turning Impress Mill into profit, that was making losses. And obviously successfully turned Impress Mill into profit. And unfortunately, the textile industry was nationalized, and here the Tata Group had to give away Impress Mill and to leave Impress Mill, the textile business, altogether. Then he was in 1981. He was given leadership of Tata Industries. In Ratanji Tata's own words, Tata Industries had nothing much to do, but he was leader of Tata Industries. And after 1890, after taking over as a leader of Tata Industries, I think his mother was not feeling well in 1983, and he had to spend some time in New York with her when she was hospitalized, taking medical treatment. So he said those days were very important because in those 2 3 months I could strategize, I could think about where we can take Tata Group and what the next plan of action can be, and what technologies or what industries we can get into. So all these thought processes and strategic plans were discussed with Tata Group, the board, multiple times, but he said the response was not positive. One important thing happened during the 1980s. Rajiv Gandhi was also coming up very strongly as a political leader in India. So this is about Ratanji Tata's strategic thought process about getting into upcoming technologies or industries. For telecom, electronics and telecom was the upcoming industry, and Rajiv Gandhi and Ratan Tata had agreed on these lines, and they had started working also. But unfortunately, I think in 1991 we lost Rajiv Gandhi in assassination. He got assassinated in Chennai, and Ratan Tata had to work on his own. One more important aspect also was not in favor of Tata Group or any industry in those days was license Raj. So anything and everything that you are planning to do in industry as a business, you need to take license from the government, and it was very time consuming and a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of corruption, etc., etc. So that also worked against the development of industries at a full capacity, full potential. Now, unfortunately, by this time, Ratanji Tata had seen that Tata Group is in smokestack industries. That means heavy industries, and if we have to survive and sustain and progress, and if we have to expand, obviously we'll have to get into new upcoming industries. And that is what his suggestion to board was, but it was overheard. It was not heard properly. Towards 1991, when J.R.D. Tata got retired, he obviously promoted Ratan Tata to the chairmanship of Tata Group, and which was not taken well by some established players like Lucy Modi, Ajit Kerkar, and Darbari Seth. So this was important transition which Tata Group started getting into. When Ratan Tata got the chairmanship in 1991, the following companies were contributing to almost 60-70% of the total revenue. That was 4 billion. The first is Telco, that is Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company, which was a heavy truck division. Tata Steel, Tata Electric companies, there were 3. Tata Power Company, Tata Hydroelectric Supply Company, and Andhra Valley Power Supply Company. Then there was Associated Cement, ACC, and then there was Tata Chemicals. So these companies were contributing to almost 60-70% of Tata Group's total revenue. And when Ratan Tata took over as the chairman, obviously he said that the first thing that he did was to remove silos. He could see that all these organizations are silos. They're working in silos. Their logos are different. Their fonts are different. Their work ethics are different. Their trajectory is different. And none of them are aligning with the Tata Group ethos and Tata. There's no consolidated or collaborative effort happening. And this is where he started working on. So when he started bringing all these chieftains of the industry together under Tata Group umbrella, there was a lot of resistance from different people. Like, for example, Lucy Modi, who was running Tata Steel for 52 years. Then there was Darbari Seth, who was taking care of Tata Chemicals and Tata Private Limited Consumers. And then there was Ajit Kerkar, who was taking care of Indian Hotels. Hospitality business. So to taking all these ruthless decisions to make sure that all these oldies are getting out of the way. Obviously, he had to take certain steps. We'll get into those steps later. But this is where it started. And once we started getting the grip of Tata Group, obviously then he took a lot of courageous decisions, like, for example, acquisitions and mergers, and then launching Nano and Indica and buying JLR, etc., etc. So all this will come to those pointers. But now, important point here is to understand the context in which all we are discussing this. Now, we need to understand what makes Ratan Tata. So, in my opinion, before getting into this, as a consolidation, a thought process, as a way of consolidating all the entities under same common umbrella, when we discussed that there were 6-7 main components. In Ratan Tata's thought process, as per according to him, some product lines were not very conducive to Tata Group's long-term vision. So, for example, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and textile. So these businesses were carved out. They were thrown out. Basically, Lakme was Tata brand. Lakme was sold to Hindustan Lever. Tata Oil Mills they were manufacturing soaps that was sold to Hindustan Levers again. Goodla's Nerolac was a paint that Tata used to manufacture. It was sold to Kansai, Japan. Then Tata used to have Marine Pharmaceuticals, which was sold to Bogart. Then Voltas was a very big contributor to Tata Group. And Voltas's appliance and refrigeration division was sold to Electrolux. So Voltas was only taking care of air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, and contractual for manufacturing. Then Titan is there. ACC, the cement business, was sold to Ambuja. Tata Tea, Tata Coffee, Tata Press were broken down. Tata used to have a very strong collaboration with IBM for hardware, and that also was broken. Tata Telecom also used to have a very strong collaboration for hardware for ISPs. That is IT&T. That also was sold to Avaya. So these are some of the decisions were taken to consolidate, to streamline, to organize the Tata businesses that were falling in line with Ratan Tata's long-term vision. So let us now understand what those aspects are, which I think made Mr. Ratan Tata an adorable old uncle who did not swindle, who paid all its debts, who stood behind its products and people, and his organization was largely free from scandals. And most importantly, he was very active in philanthropy activities. So I think the first and foremost, is visionary leadership. When a person is taking a role in a group like Tata, who have such a huge heritage, amazing heritage and responsibility, then obviously we must understand what the roles and responsibilities are. And until unless we know where we are going to take this group, then obviously it is going to falter along the way. So Ratan Tata is very clear in where he wanted the group to go, in what direction. As we discussed, when his mother was not feeling well in 1983 in New York, he had already formulated a strategic plan wherein consolidation was very important and global outreach was also important. So anything and everything that was working towards common goal of Tata Group was welcome. Anybody and anything that was creating obstructions, creating blocks, they are not working in those lines, on those lines, was thrown away. Products or people both, and getting into businesses which were going to play a major role in upcoming decades and years to come. So this was a visionary leadership. Consolidation happened, and then obviously we could see the global perspective also was important, because he could see that until unless we get into global markets, will not be able to progress much. At present, as we speak, almost 60% of revenues of Tata Group are international. They're coming from out of India countries. Just to give example, 16 companies in the European Union are owned by Tatas, and almost 60,000 employees are working there as we speak. Then obviously there is social responsibility, integrity and ethics, because he knew what Tata Group stands for, what Tata Trust stands for, what Tata Sons stands for, what the objective is. Social welfare in nation building was the prime objective, supported by industrial growth. So this was the ethos, this was the mission. And social responsibility in whatever we do should be beneficial to the society, should be beneficial in nation building. At the same time, should be business activity. That is very important. So then the next point is innovation and risk taking. Innovation is basically, it starts from getting rid of companies which were not following our lines. For example, Lakme was doing good. Goodla's Nerolac was doing good. And this is not only about products, but also about people. The people who are not following the Tata Group ethos were thrown out of the doors. And risk taking is about making sure that any decision that we take towards the common goal needs to be supported at any cost. For example, launching Indica, when everybody, for example, let me give you a context. Ratan Tata said that he had gone to CII and asked for their help because he wanted to manufacture an indigenous Indian car. So CII's response was, Indian manufacturer cannot do it. Maruti was doing it with Suzuki. So CII at that point in time said, we Indian manufacturer cannot manufacture indigenous car, and that is where Ratan Tata stood and created Indica. And Indica sold 10 lakh units, the first Indian car to sell 10 lakh units. And you may be not aware, Indica was sold as a city rover in UK also, the same vehicle. So this is about risk taking. Obviously, risk taking is about buying Chorus, buying JLR, buying Tetley. So this is about global outreach and risk taking. Risk taking is also about removing the established players like Lucy Modi, Ajit Kerkar, and Darbari said. Risk taking is also about getting into new industries and areas where we don't have any expertise. The risk taking is also about carving the product divisions that are not aligned with us. So this approach is very important. Then humility and approachability. A common man, a common person a common employee should be able to approach Ratan Tata. This is a very well-known approach, well-known characteristic that we all of us know: approachability and humility. So even after being such a almost not owner but running a 34 lakh crore organization and still being very down to earth is very rare. Then the next point is long-term focus. Whatever actions, whatever decisions that Ratan Tata took, they were always about growth. They were always about in line with Tata Group's ethos, and they were always about taking care of the next decade, the coming years. It was never about short-term gains and growth. So this long-term focus obviously created people, products, and companies. With the long-term focus only helped him get rid of certain individuals which were detrimental. The long-term focus only gave Ratan Tata the idea to go global by acquiring or by expanding out of India. And adaptability. Adaptability is the ability to change as per the situations, change to the demand of the situations and industrial trends. So this is where we can see that he could get into new technologies, for example, electronics and telecommunication in 1980s. The TC is again the result of information technology. Now, as we speak, also the Tata Group is trying to get into e-commerce. Tata Group is also trying to get into pharmaceuticals. Tata Group is also trying to get into other areas that are untouched, so to say, as of now. So healthcare, digital services, and e-commerce is where Tata Group is planning to go. So while discussing about all this adaptability and how do we change ourselves so that all the upcoming opportunities and threats can be taken care of, this is very important. Then the strong decision making is very important. For example, just to give further information about this, getting rid and acquiring new industries, getting rid of not so good companies and getting new organizations or industries under our fold. So Tata Consumer Products bought Tetley, which made Tata's the world's second largest tea maker. Then Tata's bought BSNL, which is Tata Communications Limited now. Tata Motors bought Daewoo's heavy vehicles arm. Then Hispano Corsair was bought, a bus maker. Then JLR, Jaguar Land Rover, was one of the biggest achievements of Tata Motors. Tata Steel bought Chorus. Tata Chemicals and Green Hotels also have gone acquiring a lot of assets and businesses across the globe. So these are some of the aspects of strong decision making. Not only about removing people. For example, let me give about strong decision making. When Ratan Tata became chairman in 1991, as I said, there were established players who were very strong, extremely strong in their fiefdoms. Tata Motors, Tata Steel, for example, Lucy Modi, 52 years. He was running Tata Steel for 52 years. Then Darbari said taking care of Tata Chemicals and Tata Consumer Products, and Atul Kerkar taking care of Indian Hotels. So all these established, very well established players who are not so happy about Ratan Tata becoming a chairman, and they were not supportive also. So one by one, Ratan Tata could see that they have to remove certain individuals from the organization. If at all he has to rule and he has to control Tata Group, those people must be removed. And he used the retirement policy very effectively. So he started retirement policy wherein after 70 or 75 years, all the people have to get retired. And most of the people got retired by this one or two next years, for 1990 to 93. For example, Lucy Modi got out of Tata Group. While going out, also he actually tried inducting Aditya Kashyap, his adopted son, as a deputy managing director without approval of Tata Group board, and obviously it was not accepted, and both Lucy Modi and Aditya Kashyap had to leave. Ajit Kerkar got out of Indian Hotels, I think, in 1997 due to some foreign exchange related legal issues. Darbari Seth left Tata Chemicals and Consumer Products in 1994. His son Manu Seth was taking care of Tata Chemicals till 2000. And in 2000, Manu Seth also got out of Tata Group by citing differences in professional perception. So these were the reasons given. So, important point here is to understand all these aspects, because until we understand what made Ratan Tata, we will not be able to understand why people are mourning, bemoaning, why people are grieving, why people are missing an adorable old uncle. This is what Economic Times say. So I think we are now in a better position to understand from where Ratan Tata came and from where he was taking the Tata Group. And we could see his journey, we could see his global perspective, we could see his visionary leadership, we could see his approachability, we could see his humility, we could see his innovation and risk-taking abilities. We could vouch for his integrity and ethics, and we could see that social responsibility was very close to his heart. His strong decision making and adaptability was legendary. And the last and most important thing is mentorship and development. For example, I can be Ratan Tata obviously was a very good leader, but he made sure that he could judge the characters, and he could bring people up who had capacity, talent, and potential to be leaders. For example, Cyrus Mistry was mentored by him. And just like Cyrus Mistry, this is individual mentorship, but in the Tata Group, Ratan Tata had started TAS, which is Tata Administrative Services, which grooms and trains aspiring leaders and potential leaders to take care of Tata Group further. So these aspects I just thought of sharing with you, because until we understand from where Ratan Tata came, what he was doing, and from where he was taking Tata Group, we will not be able to understand the phenomena that we are seeing in the form of the people across the globe, not only India, across the globe, bemoaning, missing an adorable old uncle. Thank you very much.